Hey everyone, Blue here with my redemption arc. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I put a post a few hours ago about my journey to ADC land. If you didn't see it, here is the screen cap. And yeah, as you can see, it's not that good. So I thought I would try again with Tristana. Shout out to Sad Ramis from Reddit, hitting me up saying, hey, you're building the ADC wrong, try this path instead. So I thought, what the heck, I have nothing to lose but elo, so let's do it. Alright, but first let's talk about what I do here at the start of the game. As I'm moving towards the lane, I move myself and Kaisa to the bottom, because I want to see what I'm doing compared to Kaisa, and it's easier for my eyes at least to see bottom to bottom. I also move Volibear and Xin Zhao to the top because I feel like the junglers are more important to me than Baron at the start of the game. Plus in general, right? If my jungler is doing better than their jungler, I'm fine, I'm chilling, but if they're doing better, I need to be wary for ganks and stuff. I also long held Seraphine's mute button to turn off only her background music because that gets kind of annoying. I have three things to think about at the start of this matchup. One is I bought a pink ward because Blitz plays for the bush. Two, I'm not going to engage on Kaisa unless Thresh lands a hook. Three, every time Blitzcrank goes for a Relic Shield proc, I will auto attack him as many times as I can before he backs away from my range. You can see that we've used both of our pink wards to clear out one yellow ward from the enemy team. That's a mistake. If Xin Zhao saw that, he would know that we have no wards in the bush. He can rotate from his red to his blue to us, and we wouldn't have the slightest idea that would happen. But we also know that Volibear is starting red. So if we can get this enemy team to be overzealous and maybe push into us, then maybe we can provide a good gank opportunity for him. As you can see here, I'm applying my third principle, where every time Blitzcrank goes for a proc, he will get hit with an auto attack. Here, Blitz actually lands a really nice hook on Thresh, but here comes Volibear, so maybe he took it on purpose. I'm focusing on Blitzcrank because he can provide a lot of CC, and that's annoying at the start of the game. Kaisa, my damages aren't the best right now. And there we go, we got 2 kills for the start of this game. We are chilling. And yeah, that was pretty sloppy, but as Dominic Toretto says from the Fast and the Furious series, we can win by an inch or a mile. A win is a win. And hey, I won that fight. Well, me, Thresh, and Volibear, but you know. Now you may be thinking, why am I so confident with Thresh of taking these 2 plates before we recall? Well, Volibear was just at the enemy blue side. They just smited it away from Volibear, so we know Xin is there somewhere, but not anywhere near for us to get ganked. However, Volibear overstayed his welcome. Blitz and Xin Zhao are taking him out. Seraphine comes for the assist. He gets a nice big old shield and he flashes away from the enemy fight. However, he goes back in for no reason except to die. But you know, you can't control everyone. It's okay, it happens. He had a great gank, so I'm happy with that. The only downside to this is that Kaisa got the kill and that she has red buff now, so she has a slow, a burn, and true damage. How do you know this? Well, she has a fire circle under bottom of her feet, and that is not normal, at least I don't think so. And just like water, our principles are always changing. As of right now, our principles are to stay safe, farm on our side, so I'm going to start a freeze by keeping 2 caster minions alive. If you don't know what management is or the wave, check out my guides, it's helpful I hope. And you can see that the wave is closer to our turret. And here is my second principle. Every time Blitzcrank goes for that proc on his Relic Shield, I will take him out with auto attacks. He's being forced to recall, which means that we have a lot of kill pressure. Both me and Thresh are very healthy. They do not have a honey fruit. So what does this mean? If we get a nice engage, I'm level 5, Thresh is almost level 5. You can see once Thresh hits level 5, he engages. He hooks a minion, dives into them, flays, ults, ignites, Blitzcrank is dead. Kaisa's still, 3/4 of the way to level 5. And how do I know we can continue to apply pressure to this turret and to Kaisa? Well, I pinged Xin Zhao, letting you guys know that he's at the top side, so is Fiora. Lux is in the middle lane, Kaisa's with us, that means Blitzcrank is dead, so that's 5 out of 5 people. I accidentally walked into turret range, but we're chilling. Kaisa still has her red buff damage, so we gotta be very careful with this. Thresh tries to go for the fancy engage again, but didn't work out this time. Kaisa burns her honey fruit. Now we can recall. The reason I wanted to make her waste her honey fruit first is because we still have hours. So if we can get back on time, we have a healing potential that she doesn't. Here, Thresh is asking me in chat, should he get proto belts? I said whatever he wants, I will engage the second he engages. And that's been my principle at the start, right? Whenever Thresh lands a CC, I will engage then and only then. Kaisa did manage to steal our buff, or our honey fruit, which is unfortunate, and I am taking tons of damage. Here's Thresh coming in clutch. I use heal to speed him up just a little bit, take out Kaisa with my ultimate. Blitzcrank flashes. I try to rocket jump, but I forget that he has a hook. He can take me out really easily. I had flash as a last pocket resort. That at this point, you know, might as well take some damage for the turret. I accidentally hit Blitzcrank with my explosive kit, whatever you want to call it. But we do take him out. I see Thresh's Lantern far too late. I was going to recall. I tell him to retreat, but I'm just going to rocket jump in there, help him out with Xin Zhao and Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is dead. There's Xin Zhao. There's Kaisa. I'm going to rocket jump behind Blitzcrank to position myself better. I'm going to ward so to make sure we don't lose sight of her. There's Volibear. I come back to get some extra assist points for myself. And now we're helping Volibear take blue. That was a lot going on in that moment, but hopefully it was clear. My commentary was probably really hyper, but I hope it was understandable. Now that we know that Xin Zhao is dead, he just came back to life, we can take this Ice Dragon pretty quickly with the three of us. And once I am done with dragoning, it's in position towards the side wall so I can rocket jump out of there. And I'm going straight to Rift Herald. Why Rift Herald? Well, Kaisa and Blitzcrank need to stop that push going to their second tier turret. And Urgot is winning his lane. Might as well go help him out. And there is Xin Zhao once more trying to fight and defend for Rift Herald. He used a smite on me, so I know we don't have smite. Urgot just takes out her Fiora. I'm fighting with Urgot to make sure he doesn't die. There is Lux. I am out of there like swimwear. And you can see that Kaisa and Blitzcrank had to rotate all the way from Dragon Lane to Rift Herald, which means that we had free chance to do some poke damage. Volibear managed to keep the Rift Herald from going back to the pit, which is the furthest away from the enemy team as possible. We have decisions to either go towards Lux and Kaisa or take out Blitzcrank. I don't want to go for Blitzcrank. He has a lot of health, plus he went towards the turret. If I rocket jump and he hooks me into it, I'm screwed. So I'm going to go towards the squishies. Here is Kaisa. I flash. I use my third ability and my first for auto attack damage. Thresh got the kill, that's no problem. I don't know what the heck happened there. I think I grabbed Lantern while I was rocket jumping. Blitzcrank managed to walk into three of us. Here I rocket jump and I heal to make sure Seraphine doesn't die from that ignite damage. Maybe she would have survived without it, but I'd rather be safer than sorry. Also taking these Raptors for some extra gold and also to avoid Xin Zhao from getting more gold. Unfortunately, my heal was for naught because you can see that she gets sniped from downtown by Lux, which is really unfortunate. Now, some of you have noticed that I have not put a lot of indicators into this video, only text about my principles, and that's on purpose. I feel like at the end of the day, certain people watch these videos to become better at the game. And becoming better at the game means you become instinctively a better decision maker. If I were to put big red arrows and slowing things down to show you guys what's happening, you will expect to have that happen in the game. A real life example might be more helpful. Obviously, this probably won't be for everyone, but I'm hoping that maybe some people resonate with this and maybe I get some feedback. I think the only thing I would edit out would be these recalls or death moments because nobody wants to look at a gray screen for 30 seconds or, you know, me recalling and going back to lane for 30 seconds. Back to the game anyway. I'm going towards Baron lane or middle lane because you can see that Dragon lane is pushed all the way up towards the blue side of their jungle. That's the danger zone. I can get ganked, I can get cornered, I can get rotated on. So I'm not about that business. I'm going towards Baron lane now because Xin Zhao showed himself and Urgot needs my help. Thankfully, we managed to kill Xin Zhao with Urgot's assistance. But here's Fiora, and it's something hilarious happens here. I almost get spanked. I'm 4-0-6. Fiora is absolutely owning me. I'm so grateful for Urgot coming in clutch and saving my life. We managed to get that kill. That was pure luck. That was not skill. I'm just very grateful for Urgot to stay with me. So we were pushing out both Baron lane and middle lane without me going towards middle lane. The reason I did that was because Volibear was keeping Blitzcrank and Kaisa busy in their jungle. Lux was busy with Seraphine and Thresh in the middle lane, and Fiora and Xin Zhao are dead in Baron lane. There's no reason for me to recall. I can just push this for free and then go back after I have a good amount of gold. I'm deciding between Protobelt and Glorious. I go for Glorious for more speed because at this point I'm moving and grooving to whatever the rhythm of the game is. I'm also deciding what item I should get next. I have a lot of attack speed. Maybe I should go for Infinity Edge for some damage, or maybe I can go for Navori Quick Blades for cooldown and for skill resets with critical shots. I see Kaisa's pretty low there in middle lane, so I use this Vision Ward, Vision Plant, to see if she's still there. If not, I'm still going to push out this wave to make sure my minions crash into the mid turrets. Fiora is still pushing out Baron lane, but we have 3 champions at Dragon lane. When there might be a fight happening. Oh no, Urgot got taken out. So I'm going to join the fight here. Kaisa is pretty low. I'm waiting, saving my ultimate for something exciting. We take out Kaisa, we also take out Blitzcrank, and at this point I'm not going to be part of the fight anymore. It's pointless for me to be part of that fight. So instead I'm going to push out this turret. I'm pretty sure Volibear can take care of Lux by himself, and if not, we'll force Lux to come to us like we just did, and now Volibear is free to push out Dragon lane. This is a decision that the enemy team has to decide. Will Fiora recall and stop us? Probably not, but because she didn't, both Volibear and me and Thresh took out 2 inhibitor turrets. That's kind of forcing them to spread their resources pretty thin. And now we have a free dragon because they have to worry about super minions now coming towards their lane. And the last thing they're concerned about is trying to stop this dragon from happening. Lux almost took that out with the snipe. Thankfully, Volibear saved smite for the last second and managed to secure it. Now we have a bit of a lull in the game. We have 2 inhibitor turrets, so we can obviously all pile up in Baron lane and take out that last inhibitor turret. But there's a bit of an ARAM going on in middle lane. So I need to join this and cut it off as soon as possible. Usually I'm not a fan of fighting a big fight like this, but Urgot's already pushing Baron lane, so I might as well help out my team. Unfortunately, Seraphine got caught out, and so it's me and Thresh versus 3 people. Great snare and ult by Lux. I use my flash to avoid dying. And I do my best to distance myself away from Kaisa. I flash Lux's snare. Once I see Xin Zhao, I use my rocket jump towards Lux. I ult Xin Zhao away to fight Lux alone. I rocket jump towards the blue buff, auto attack her for some healing. And then lastly, I use the lantern from Thresh, but they didn't even need me because Urgot takes him out like a crazy guy. We have both of our lanes pushing towards the inhibitors now, towards the Nexus actually. And Baron lane, you can see that Urgot did some good damage there. You can see a big pile-up of minions on that side. We take out Fiora, that's an ace, and at this point we just go straight towards the Nexus. I rocket jump at a perfect time so I can get inside the Nexus when it ends, and now I am within the explosion. I have caused it myself. I made an implosion in the Nexus. So hopefully I redeem myself as an ADC, and that screen capture is no longer haunting my dreams. I could not sleep last night. No, just kidding. Really cool moment here. I'm performed better than 100% of Tristana's in the same tier, which is pretty hype. 49 marks with a Fortitude Shield, a 6-game win streak, which is absolutely bananas at this level of playing. At least I feel pretty hype about it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A little different than most videos, of course, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Either way, pleasure to have you here. Talk to you all later. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I will see you all later. Have a great one and happy climbing.